Hey everybody. Um, as you've probably noticed, I haven't been uploading anything recently. Um, Pretty much I was going off what was left in a certain file and backlog, but I've been bedridden for the last 3 weeks. So yeah, my scoliosis has basically progressed to the point that I can barely stand. My ribs on the left side are practically touching. There's no space in between any of them. And yeah, I can barely get around. I can't lay on my stomach. I have to pretty much stay on one side at all times, otherwise I'm just in absolute fucking pain. Even then I'm still hurting like a motherfucker. But so basically, long story short, there's no putting off back surgery. It's just my condition's gotten to a point I'm too fucked up. I have to get corrective spinal surgery. Um, I had my CT and pulmonary test done yesterday. Not that it really matters what date it is, but yeah, I got all the preliminary stuff. Basically, I'm waiting to go in for the consultation so we can figure out when we can actually do the surgery. Um, that's basically going to entail them first going through the front near my hips to basically put wedges in the bottom between the bottom two vertebrae to keep them stiff. And the second part is to lay my entire back open, sever the muscle, you know, cut the muscle away from my entire spinal column, which curves back and forth like a fucking country road. And then basically put screws and stuff and just adjust each vertebrae one by one until they get them into as close a normal positioning as possible, and then put rods up through it and bone grafting material, and basically inst- instead of my back, instead of my back being a bunch of individual vertebrae being able to move, it's going to be one solid fucking piece. So I'll be able to bend up my waist, and that's about it. But there's no alternative now. There's no trying to put. The last time this came up, I was trying to stave it off for as long as possible using physical therapy. It didn't work. It it didn't work because I ended up breaking my ankle. Got broken almost a year and a half ago or whatever. I neuropathy. I didn't feel it. I walked my fucking right foot to pieces, literally, until both sides of my ankle were busted. And then yeah, and I didn't even fucking feel it. Just like I thought, I sprained my ankle or something. And so, it's my right ankle's bolted the fuck together, and now it looks like my spine's gonna be bolted and fused. So, um, but yeah, after the timeline is after the surgery, I'm probably gonna be stoned out of my fucking gourd in the hospital for a week while that starts to heal up. Then I'm gonna be moved to an assisted living facility for 6 to 12 weeks while they try to get my ass mobile again. And then after that, I come home for outpatient therapy. And depending on what I feel like when I get home, whether or not I can lay on my stomach or do anything like that, you know, I'll be back. I'll be back. That's all I can say. It's gonna be a few months, maybe, but I will be back. You know, and full recovery time is estimated to be 9 to 12 months, but I should be home in maybe, well, let's see, 1 week, 6, so 7 to 13. So I should be home 7 to 13 weeks after the surgery, as long as nothing stupid happens. It also depends on what date the surgery is, because the consultation is on next Wednesday. So Yeah, I would have gotten this out sooner, but I have just been in way too much fucking pain. Cause go to one person after I'd hurt myself, and it's like, because it's like I thought I pulled something. And it's like, oh, you just pulled a muscle, and then the next person I see is like, well, it sounds like it's your sciatic nerve. It's like, okay, so I get a steroid shot in my butt. It's like, well, that didn't do anything. And then I go to the physical therapy, and she's sitting there poking and prodding at me. It's like, well, if it was your sciatic nerve, you'd be jumping off the table right now. So I think you slipped the disc. And it's like, okay, can I get some medicine? And nobody will. The way Michigan's fucked with its laws, they don't want to give you narcotics. They don't want to give you narcotic painkillers. They keep trying to brush it off. And I ended up going to the ER a couple times. They gave me some good shit, but it's like, we can't, they prescribed some lidocaine patches, but then the insurance says, we're not going to cover these lidocaine patches unless your primary care physician writes for them. So we called my doctor up. He won't write them up because he doesn't want to take responsibility for the whole thing. And the ER doesn't want to take, the ER can't write them up and do anything because they don't want to take responsibility. And it just kind of goes back and forth, like, it's like hot potato. No, we don't want, no, you just somebody else deal with this shit. And they finally got up to see the specialist, and it's like, yeah, we'll get you fixed up with the surgery. It's like, well, can you give me a deadening shot to, kill, basically deaden the nerves for however long, so I'm not in constant fucking pain. It's like, we can't do that unless you're under our care. So they can't give me any medicine or anything until I'm basically, ready to go in and get sliced up. Fucking weird, man. It's fucking weird. The only reason I'm feeling good now is I got an ice pack and I just took some fucking medication, but I did finally get they did finally get somebody to give me some good that Celebrex stuff. I can't sleep at night, but at least I'm not in that much pain. So I get all sorts of heavy horse shit taken right now. Oh, well, anyway, like I said, I'm fucked up and I'm gonna get diced up. I'll see you in a few months or so. Anyway, thanks to everybody who's come to the channel over the years, by the way. I really appreciate it. It's been a hard 3 weeks. I'll tell you that much. It's been a real hard 3 weeks not being able to do anything. Because doing LPs, after I got put on disability and went through a whole depression stage over that shit, this is what I do to keep doing LPs is what I do to keep myself sane. Because I can't, I'm fucked up, I can't really do much else. This is my release. And these last 3 weeks, I haven't been able to do anything. And I have been having fucking anxiety attacks and shit all the fucking time because I'm just stuck here alone. And that's the worst fucking thing to happen to me, is to have a fucking bipolar motherfucker like myself stuck here staring at the fucking ceiling in a dark room with absolutely nothing to do. Happy thoughts do not come from that. Trust me. It's a bad thing. But anyway, I'll see you guys as soon as I can actually get my lazy ass around to do something. Of course, I still have backlog stuff, but leaning over to try to get everything all typed out and shit just fucking kills my back. So, I'll start uploading more of the backlog first when I get a chance, when I'm actually in a better situation. But yeah, I'll see you guys whenever I get better. Later.